Hello and welcome to today's lesson on reading computer printouts using either the Minitab software, which is a very common statistics software, especially used at college and university, or a computer printout using Excel or other programs. Our objective for today, by the end of this lesson, I will be able to read a Minitab or computer printout for linear regression and find all critical values. Okay, the good news is reading the objective today is almost as long as the actual lesson that we have for today. Okay, so this is a very common Minitab or computer printout. The one thing that's usually not given with you is this upper portion right here. We kept this in just to be able to help a little bit with matching pieces up. Remember, when we look at our linear regression equation, we've got y hat equals a, our y-intercept, which is a constant value, plus bx. Okay, b is our coefficient for the x value for the slope, and we always want to be able to define our variables. So in this situation, we've got cost is our y value, income is our x value, and we are looking for our y-intercept. Okay, what's the starting point of this equation when x equals 0? And then our slope, how is this graph increasing or decreasing over time? So if you look at our headings, we've got constant, we've got coefficient, and then we have income with coefficient. So when we look at these columns, okay, right now for this unit, all we need is the first column to build our linear regression equation. So we have the constant coefficient, which is your a value, okay, your y-intercept of the linear regression, and then you have your income coefficient, which is your b value. Okay, always check b to notice whether it has a positive or negative slope, because we will need that with a part of our work for today. Okay, now the only other thing we need for this unit dealing with linear regression is the value at the bottom, the r squared value. So we know that our r squared, okay, and we want to turn it into the decimal value that we can work with it. Our r squared is 0.91. So based on this, this looks like a very strong correlation between these two variables. Remember, the one thing we would have to be concerned with here is we do not have the residual plot. If there's a pattern in your residual plot, all things are off. Okay, now the r squared adjusted we only use when we're comparing multiple regressions. Okay, so in this situation we're only dealing with r squared. Now if you notice, in this plot, we're given r squared, but we're not given correlation. Okay, now this is a pretty easy fix to find our correlation or our r value. What we have to do is we have to square root our r squared, or the coefficient of determination. Okay, so we do that quick calculation here in just a second as the calculator warms up for us. Okay, but the other piece, while this is getting ready, that you will want to consider is what is the sign on the correlation? Okay, so we've got the square root of 0.91. Okay, so we get a correlation value of 0.954. Okay, so that's something that you have to do by hand. Okay, that gives us our strength, but remember, we have to look at the income value for that correlation coefficient. Is it positive or negative? Okay, in this case, our slope is positive, so our R value is positive. And that is today's lesson for reading a Minitab or computer printout for regression analysis. Have a good day.